Hello. For this video, it's going to be about balancing equations. So I have three examples here. The first example is copper solid plus sulfur, 8 sulfur solid, and it goes to copper sulfide. So for this example, it's pretty straightforward. You know that you want 2 copper over here, like you want the reactants and the products to balance out, but the lowest common number for the two is that you need 8 sulfur. So on this side, since you only have 1 sulfur here, make this an 8. So 8 and 8 balance out. 8 times 2, so 8 times the 2 copper, which means 16. So you have to put 16 on this side. And the coefficient in front of the S8 still remains as 1. So it's just 16, 1, and 8 for this first example when balancing chemical equations. So for the second example, as you can see, you have the reactants and products you have to balance out. So what I would do is that I see that you only have 1 boron here and 2 here. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of this. Okay. So 2 in front of there to balance out the boron and this as well. So those two balance out. You also have, let me see, you have 6 sodium now. So 3 times 2, that makes 6. So since you have 6 sodium on this side, the products, I'll try putting 6 here and see what that does. So what that ends up doing is that you have 6 hydrogen now. And to balance out the hydrogen, what you can do is, since there's 2 over here for the water molecule, you can put a coefficient of 3 in front of it, because 3 times 2 equals 6. And so you know that the hydrogen's balanced out there. And then, so now we have to figure out with the oxygen, and this can be tricky because the oxygens are split up. But on this side, you have 3. So note that the reactant side, or actually 3, oh wait, you also have this oxygen too. So 6 oxygen plus 3 oxygen, so that's 9 oxygen on the reactants. And then for the products, you have 2 times 3, which is 6. And then plus another 3, so that's 9. So oxygens actually do balance out, and you don't have to put anything in the coefficient here. So this remains as 1. Still stays as 1. So those are your coefficients. So for the whole equation to balance all together, coefficients are 1, 6, 2, and 3. So let me just double check the work. So you have 6 sodium, 2 times 3 is 6 sodium. You have 2 boron, and then as for hydrogen, you have 6 hydrogen, and then 3 times 2 is 6 hydrogen, and then oxygen, you have 2 times 3, which is 6, plus another 3, which is 9 oxygen, and then 6 oxygen plus 3 oxygen is another 9. So this all balances out for the second example. And then for the third example, let's see. So you have 2 nitrogen here, but you only have 1 on the reactant side. So let's just try putting a 2 in here and see what that does. So if you have 2 in front of this compound, so that makes 2 nitrogen. But then, let's see, for hydrogen, you have 3 plus 2, that's 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So what you can do to balance it out is put a 5 in front of this H. So once you do that, your hydrogens are balanced, your nitrogen is balanced. Let me see. And then you have 2 carbon, so you can put the 2 in front of here and see if that balances out. And then next you have your oxygen. So I would just try to count all the oxygen on the product side and then see what's the coefficient to put for the reactant. So let's see, for CO2 you have 2 times 2, you have 4 oxygens here. So for oxygen, you have 4 for the CO2 plus 5 from the H2O, and then so that equals 9. But then, see, that won't work because you don't have a whole number in order for this to equal 9. You would have to put a fraction in front of it, and we don't want that. So let's erase all of this. That means that we have to start all over. The ratio between each of the compounds is different. So what we can do is try to see if we can double it. So let me see. You have N2. We started with nitrogen. Let's see if we double it. So if we put 2 in front of there, which would make 4 nitrogen, and then you would have to put a 4 here in order to balance out nitrogen. So then, on this side, we see that there are 4 carbons, so put a 4 in front of the carbon there, balance it, and then you have, let me see, 3 times 2 is 5, you have the 5 hydrogen here, but you have to multiply that by 4, which makes it altogether 20 hydrogens on the reactant side. So since you have 20 hydrogen here, you have to make this 20 as well. So that means the coefficient has to be 10, because 10 times 2 equals 20. So 20 hydrogen, 20 hydrogen, and then we have to balance out the oxygen. So let's see if this works. So let me do the oxygen again. Oh, for oxygen. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 10 times 1 is 10, so that equals 18 oxygen on the product side. So on the reactant side, that means, so if you do 18 divided by 2, that equals 9. So that means that your coefficient is 9. And if, okay, so if you double check it, it should all be balanced out. And that is the end of my video. Hope you all learned something. Good luck studying.